Now I am going to walk you through the basics of where the notes are and how you can kind of figure out where the notes are. So something that's really important to know before we start talking about which fret is which note is you need to know the names of the open strings. So that should be the first thing that you memorize. Now, why is that important? Well, let's think about it this way. Each fret up represents a half step up from the last note. So if we are talking about this E string, if we were to press our finger on the first fret right here above that E string, that is going to be a half step up from E. So that is an F. Then if we go up another fret to the second fret, this is going to be an F sharp, yet another half step, then a G, another half step up, G sharp or A flat. Then when we get to this fifth fret here, that's an A, but also, if you notice, the next string, the fifth string, is also an A. So when you play them together, if your guitar is properly in tune, they should sound like the exact same note, because they are. On the guitar, there are a bunch of different places to play the same note, which is really great because we can figure out alternate fingerings for things. But right now, because this is a repeat, I am only going to teach you what the notes are for the first 5 frets, except for when we get to the E string, because it goes up and up and up. I'm not going to teach you exactly like, here is a way to play a note that you can already play down here, because that is what the art of position reading is. Remember how I said in the first video, if you want to get books to start out, a great book series to look into would be books on position reading for classical guitar. That's just that. I am just going to go up the neck and show you how that half step up principle for every fret works for every single string, except the third string is a little different, and we'll get into that. So again, we start with E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, then A. It can either be played here, the 5th fret, or A. For our purposes, I'm going to be transitioning to the next open string whenever we get to that note there. So A, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D. D can also be played here on the 5th fret. D, E flat, E, F, G flat, G, then G, G sharp, A, B flat, B. So notice how on the 3rd string, instead of the B being able to be played on the 5th fret like it was for every single other string, like if we play the 5th fret of our 4th string, it's a G. On the 3rd string, it's not 5th fret, but 4th fret. So just remember, for the next tuning exercise that we're going to talk about, that the 3rd string is different from the other strings. So then we start with our 2nd string, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, which can be played on the 5th string, on the 5th fret again, or open 1st string. So then E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, and now I'm going to continue going up the fret only for this 1st string because it gets into the higher notes. So A on the 5th fret, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. So now I've just taken you through the starting notes for guitar and where to play them. So to end this video, we're going to be looking at the piece and identifying what the fingerings are, because we just learned about what those numbers mean, and what the markings and other notation on this piece is. So if you look and you can see dynamics, you can see tempo markings, which you should all be able to understand because you can read music. However, the things that might be different if you're looking at a piece of classical guitar music for the first time are the numbers next to the notes. Now, again, we talked about how those numbers correspond to what finger in the left hand you're going to be using. So for that first D, for example, you see a 2 next to it. That means that we are going to be using our middle finger for that. So if there is somewhere where there is no fingering written in, that usually means just use whatever finger is closer, but for the sake of this introductory series, I will have made sure to have written all of the fingerings in for you so that it will not be left up to chance because we're still learning. And also, just to clarify, if you see a 0 next to one of the notes, that just means that it's going to be an open string that you pluck with your right hand, so no left hand fingers will be down for that. Also, you're going to see either a P, an I, an M, or an A, and remember that refers to our right hand fingerings, what finger we're going to use to play that note on the right hand. I want to just let you know for now to disregard the marks over top that say C2 with the little bracket. Those are what we refer to as bars, which I will get into in some of the next videos. For now, don't worry about that. So in our next video, we're going to actually start looking at this piece as if we're going to play it, and I'm going to take you through how I would learn this piece.